Good morning, home talkers. Fiona DeBell here, FionaDeBell.com. I am so happy that you are joining me on this beautiful Monday morning. I'm here in Toronto and we're going to be making some spectacularly simple Christmas ornaments, tree decorations, something that you'll want to pass on down the family. These are so easy to use. Look at this. We have got items that you probably already have at home. Ordinary acrylic artist paints. You can use any paints you've got, even house paints. Little brushes. You could use old credit cards or you could use hotel keys. I've got business cards. We have got clear plastic, just these little clear plastic ornaments. You can get them glass or plastic. You can get these from Michael's, from local craft stores. You could even do this particular make using old ornaments that you no longer like. We have got our sanding block because we're going to be doing a little bit of sanding. But other than that, this is a super simple holiday festive make. So let me know where you are. Let me know whether you've put your Christmas tree or your Christmas decorations or your holiday decorations up already. If you haven't, this is a great way to start. If you don't like your decorations, go out, buy some of these little plastic clear globes and make these beautiful handmade decorations. So let's get on with it. Just for those of you that, for reference, there will be a pinned post on this live which will give you the access to actually print off this make. This is the fourth in our series of holiday gift ideas. So clear plastic baubles, acrylic craft paints, brown, if you already have it, I'm going to mix them up for you, an old card or hotel key, small paintbrush, a paper plate and kitchen paper, and we have the sanding block. So let's start with, I'm going to start with just one of these little plastic ones. Now these are really simple. They're just from Michael's, and look, you just take out the top because guess what? When we're making these, we're just going to stick it on our finger. Super easy. So the first, we're going to do this 3 different ways. So we're going to do exactly the same technique, which you can just use the simple technique on its own, or you can add a little bit of extra sparkle and pizzazz to make the actual bauble a little bit fancier. So the first thing I'm going to do on this one, I'm actually going to just take my sanding block and I'm going to give this a very light sand. Let me know where you are, let me know where you're watching from, and the only reason I'm doing this is because I just want to create a very little bit of key. Can you see that shining there? We're just creating a little bit of a key on here, and you can use any kind of sanding block. See, I've got this other one here. This one's possibly a little bit better because it bends with the shape. And all I want to do is just create a little bit of a key on here, make sure that the paint is going to stick. But we're not doing huge amounts of painting on here, and we're going to be painting the inside as well as the outside on some of these. So 3 fabulous little decor makes. So what I'm going to do first of all, I'm going to grab a paper plate, and I have got here, this is just old-fashioned from the dollar store gold paint. Now you can use any metallic paint on this. It doesn't even have to be metallic. I'm going to give it a quick shake. I'm just going to pour it onto here. Look at that. And then I'm going to show you one of 2 things. So we just lightly sanded this particular one. I could probably do with sanding a little bit more. And this one has nothing in it whatsoever. So first things first, let's take the bauble that has nothing in it.
What's a key, Fiona?
A key is when I create little dimples. So using the sandpaper on here, I'm allowing the paint to have something to stick to, because if it just was on the plastic, it's very shiny. Sometimes it has a coating on it. So you might want to give it a clean with a degreaser, but by sanding it, we create a key. And the key, all that is making it so it's not shiny anymore, so that the paint can stick to it. So, sorry, I should have explained that in the beginning. So here's the one that we haven't done anything to at all. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to just literally squirt my paint inside. Look at that. I'm going to put my thumb over the top and I'm going to give it a really good vigorous shake. And bear in mind, this is dollar store paint. This is not expensive paint. This is stuff that you can get on Amazon. You can get it from the dollar store. You can get it from your local Michael's store. Obviously, if you were doing something really quality, you might want to get a really good quality paint. But look at that. How gorgeous is that already? And look, it's got this lovely kind of rainbow spectrum finish on it. And that is step 1 of one of our makes. Simple, quick, easy. You could do this with the kids and it's going to be fabulous. So I'm going to just pop that to one side just to dry off a little bit whilst we carry on. Let's pick up the one that we just sanded. So just recapping, we are doing, for those of you who have just joined us, we are doing some really simple makes of beautiful, beautiful Christmas baubles using ordinary acrylic paints, using plastic or glass baubles that you either have at home already or you can buy from Michael's or any of those places. And the first thing I'm going to do is the one that takes the longest. I've already just done inside of one of these, and I'm going to get some ordinary kitchen paper. In England we call this kitchen roll. I'm going to put my finger just inside here, and I'm going to just paint, and then I'm going to damp off the paint a little, and I'm just going to create some texture on here. Now you could do this with any colour, you don't have to go with gold. You could use a really pretty, let's say a pearl or a silver, and we're actually going to be doing this exact make without doing any kind of anything on the outside as well. So you can completely skip this step. If this step is not for you, don't worry about it. We're going to skip it and we're going to do a whole other make. So it's going to take a couple of coats of this to get it to the right consistency, but it's going to dry really, really fast. But you can already see it's just got a slight different sheen to it, a little bit of pattern coming through from the paper, and that will look lovely. So I'm going to just pop that to one side just to dry off a little bit here, just for a minute or two, whilst we're going to stand up. There we go. Whilst we move on to the main event. So the main event is creating gorgeous, 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 pretty decor on one of these. So this is a bauble. Again, I've just taken the end off. First things first, we'll leave that onto one side. Now I'm going to make some paint. So if you have got some brown paint or some dark paint, that's fine. You can skip this step. I'm going to actually mix the paint because in my paint drawer I always have the primary colours, because the primary colours make it very easy to mix and make whatever colour you want. Now if you don't want to mix your colours, that's absolutely fine. That's buy it ready mixed, ready to go, and I'm putting here together. What colour do we make if we mix yellow and orange? Sorry, yellow and red, we make an orange. And I'm going to add a teeny drop of blue to this because I'm going to try and make a brown. So fingers crossed, keep your fingers crossed for me people that the brown works. And I am literally going to take a brush, a small brush, and I'm going to mix this together. So we're going to try for a nice muddy dark brown. Look at that straight away. Now if ever you're wondering how to make colours, you can just Google the colours that you've got to mix. You say, how do I make brown? And you can find that. There we go. That's a gorgeous dark muddy dark brown. So hopefully you can see it's a little bit greenish. I might add a touch more red to that just to tone it up a little bit. And here we go. Lovely brown. Now for our berries, because you guys don't know what I'm making yet, it's super exciting. For all of the information that you actually need, look at that beautiful brown now. All the information that you need, the pinned post will be on Home Talk and on this live, and you'll be able to have a look and see what you need to do. Now I'm going to make a beautiful orange because I want some lovely orange berries, and look at that. 3 colours of paint, and so far, there, look at that. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous, bright berry orange. And we barely need any paint for this. This is a great make to do with the kids. So, back to my bauble. Those of you that have to recap, we're going to decorate these baubles to look like gorgeous, handmade, fabulous decor that you've picked up from a Christmas market, from something like that. And these are things that you could actually make to sell. They're gorgeous. So, I'm using a business card. You could use a hotel key card, anything else. There's no prep on this at all. And here's a really great tip for you guys. If this goes wrong, and it looks awful, guess what? We can just wipe it straight off and start again. So you have got room to practice. So I'm just dipping my card here in the brown paint. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just gently roll it along here. Can you see? And guess what that is, guys? Have we got any guesses yet? Anybody kind of figured out what it is that I'm doing? We've got a berry colour, we've got some sticks, and I'm going to do something now. I'm going to say, I'm going to pretend that I slip and miss it. So let's say I go, ooh, oh dear. Well, like I said to you before, if it all goes horribly wrong, you can just wipe it straight off and just keep practicing. So there's nothing wrong. My motto when doing DIYs and when painting is, it's only paint. What's the worst that can happen?
Tree stems.
Branch, tree, stems. There we go. You guys are on it this morning. Let me know where you are. So we're just going to...
Hollyberry wreath.
Hollyberry wreath. Well, I haven't got a green, but you could absolutely do a hollyberry wreath. So look, you see I'm just going round and round, and we don't want to be super accurate because this is a hand-painted piece. So I'm going to go all the way around here. There we go. And then I'm going to start doing some little branches off it. And these are just so cute because almost the way that you get the thicker and the thinner pieces of the card just emulate those stems and those branches that you get. There you go. Look, see, if I didn't like that, I could wipe that off, but actually I quite like it. I'm going to just go up here like this, and then let's start a new one from the top down. There we go. I'm going to bring it across here so you can see it more easily on a white background. How's that looking? These are so simple to do. You could do this on an afternoon, you know, snowed in, or those of you that are in hotter climates, you know, sit there outdoors and watch this dry because it dries really fast. And there's nothing special about these. These are just simple. See, I don't like that there. I'm going to just wipe it away. I'm going to get a little bit of cloth. Just wipe that one back. We went a bit wrong there. I'm trying to do it backwards for you guys so that you can see it properly. And it will just come right off. There we go. Okay, so look at that. Simple as that. We have already got the basis for our piece. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this paintbrush, the one that I used to make the red, the orange. Now you could go with any colour. You could go with a purple, you could go with a white, you could go with a pearl, you could go with a red. I've made this gorgeous orange, and I just did that mixing together about 50-50, bright yellow and bright red. And I'm using the wrong end of my paintbrush. And guess what? Blob. We are making our berries. Blob. Blob. And as I made a bit of a mess just there, just to show you that it doesn't matter if, look, there you go, I just made a mess there as well. See, when it goes wrong, boom, gone. And let's do a few more berries here. Let's just swirl it around as we go. Look at the natural areas where you might get berries. So let's look at all the little joins and the end pieces. Now you can do them in twos, you can do them in threes, you can do them in five. I always think things look better in odd numbers. I apply that to flowers, to wreaths, to candles, to everything. So we do threes. So can you see how quick and simple and fast this is? And hopefully it's just showing up really nicely. Sorry, Kat, I keep moving this around. Just trying to show you on the white background just how easy it is. Now you could do this if you don't have a paintbrush like this. You could even do this with Q-tips. You could do it with any, like the end of a pencil, an eraser, something like that. Let's just put two there. We've got a big stick here with lots of things on. So let's put some coming off here. And this already, can you see, already it's got that gorgeous, beautiful look to it of hand painted. Very easy, it looks, hopefully it shows up on camera, but in real life it looks like a very expensive ornament that you have spent a lot of money on. And wouldn't this be gorgeous to give to the grandparents, to take as a gift for somebody, for a first baby, whatever. There's so many different times that you could do this, and you can mix up the colours and just using that technique with the branch. Look at that, that is actually done already. Now you could add more underneath if you wanted to, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just pop that to one side. I'm going to leave it to dry here. And those of you that have just joined us, a few minutes ago, we started to paint the outside of this one with some gold paint. So I'm going to do a second coat of gold paint on here because it's always a good idea. And I just damped off. It's just ordinary gold paint from the dollar store. Nothing fancy. You could use super fancy paint if you wanted to. Do that one here. Carry on with this. Putting this on the outside, and this will give a kind of a nice muted look. So we're going to do one that is completely clear, we're going to do one that has got this on the outside, and then we're going to do one that we just did right at the very beginning where we filled the ornament with paint. Have we got any questions, Kat? Anybody need to know anything right now?
I've got some ideas. I was thinking put some fake snow inside it.
Oh, that would be gorgeous. That would be so lovely. You could even, in fact, I've got some glitter right here. Maybe we should try that afterwards. And I'll post it afterwards. So I'm going to leave that so you can see where the second coat has really given it that beautiful sheen. And then we just need to let that dry. I'll pop that down here to dry. And do you remember we started off with this first piece? So this was a completely clear globe. And all I did was just fill it with paint. So just for those of you that have just joined us, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. And I do it with a larger one because then I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to do the project we've just done. So we're going to basically do exactly what we did the first time. So we mixed up a brown coloured paint. You can buy your paint already mixed. I made the paint myself by mixing together a red, a yellow, and a little touch of blue. And here we go, all the way around again. We're going to do this lovely, lovely stick. And one of the things I always keep in my art supply box are these cards, business cards. Every time I go to a hotel, I keep hold of the key card because these are so useful. Any of you that have watched previously my birch tree workshop, they are so useful for that. So let me know what handmade items you have been doing for these holiday season that's coming up. Handmade things are always such a lovely, lovely way of showing people that A, you care, and also it's just fun to like do them with your friends, do them with family. How about a wine and sip party, making these ornaments together with your friends? So all we're using are these clear globes, and we got these from Michaels, but you can get them from Amazon, you can get them online in lots and lots of different places. I'm going to show you again what I said to you earlier. If it goes wrong and you don't like what you've achieved, all you need to do, because this is only paint, there you go, just wipe it off. I don't like that particular one, I'm just going to wipe it off, and if it dries, if you have got to the stage where it's actually dried, you can actually remove it just using your fingernail. So let's carry on with those. Just steady my hand there a little bit.
How long would you say paint takes to dry inside the ornament?
Inside the ornament, well, that is a really good question because it depends how much paint you actually put in there. And what I highly recommend you do is don't put the lid back on. When I say lid, I don't know what these things are called. The bauble hanging thing. Keep that off as long as you possibly can until the paint is dry. And you will just need to like swing it around a little bit because the paint will inevitably just drop to the bottom whilst it's drying off. So just keep doing that, and usually if you haven't put too much in, it should dry quite quickly. If you find you've put too much in, just pop it upside down on top of a yogurt carton, something like that, and any excess paint will just drain out. And then you could always have it over your heating vent, something like that, just whilst it dries properly. So again, let's go back to our dots. Dot, dot, bottom end of a paintbrush, and using this gorgeous red orange that we've just created. And as I say, you don't have to stick with these colours. These colours just happen to work well with my decor, and since this is my project, I figured, well, I'll just use something that works with my decor. But you could go with golds, you could go with silvers, you could go with pearl colours, you could go with any of those gorgeous bright greens or yellows. And I have noticed that this year, there seems to be an awful lot more of brightly coloured lights out there. Last year, and certainly for the last number of years, it's always been about the white lights, but this year it seems that everybody has got really excited about colour, and I have to say it does look beautiful. So any questions at this point, Kat? Does anybody need to know anything?
No, just again about sort of like the paint drying. So on the outside, how long will that take?
On the outside, because you're applying it very thinly, it dries really fast. In actual fact, this is just about dry. If I was to just blow on this a little bit, it would pretty much be dry.
What are your baubles made out of?
These ones are plastic, but you can buy glass ones, acrylic ones, and I bought these from Michaels, but you can get them from Amazon. You can even use old baubles that you already have at home that you've been using. So I'm going to swap these over. I'm going to pick up the one that we did a second ago. I'm going to put this one down, and then what I'm going to do is, so you show that that's almost dry. It's only the deeper berries that are not dry, and I'm going to pour. Now you could leave it exactly like that, and some of them we will, but what I'm now going to do is I'm going to pour in, I put rather a lot in there, my gold paint, and I'm just going to shake it up. Shake it up, baby. Who's singing with me? Shake it up. I don't sing. I'm not going to sing, especially not live on Home Talk. So this is a good time to ask me questions, and I'll just remind you, you can get all of this information on my Home Talk blog. It's Fiona De Belle, and I'm FionaDeBelle.com if you want to kind of keep up to date with me. We're just
do you put
shaking.
a sealant or anything from the outside to sort of put?
No, I don't, because this is acrylic paint. The acrylic paint doesn't need a sealant on it because it dries with a hard coat on it. What I probably would do would be to wait before shaking it, because otherwise I'm likely to damage it. But we're on, we're on Home Talk Live, and we're doing this fast and furious, and we're making this ready for it. Actually, in lots of ways, I kind of quite like it almost like that. But if I was to continue shaking it, I would get, let me show you, this is one that I did with pearl. Look at that. It's just a slightly different mixed colour. So you can absolutely, they just look so pretty. They just look stunning. I'm so happy with these guys. And what we're going to do then as the final thing before we finish, we're going to have to just lay that there. It's going to roll away, isn't it? Let's put this back down here. Let's just pop this one over here on the plate, just whilst it settles. Now I would, if I was leaving that now to dry, I would actually pop it upside down on a yogurt carton, just so that all of the paint could swirl around and dry out. Let's go back to this one that we did earlier. So this is the one that we did with the gold on the outside, and you can see it's just got that lovely, lovely sheen to it. And again, exactly the same technique would apply. So this is a smaller bauble, so it's a little bit easier to handle because it's not so slippy, because you've got this kind of the paint on the outside, and you saw how quickly that dried. Here we go. Let's do some branches, just going off each side. And I could have painted this outside with any colour I liked, really. I do love the idea that somebody suggested filling it with, to make it like a snow globe, so I could fill it with glitter. That'd be very pretty. And we're just going to go around the outside. We don't do too many, we just want it to look very natural. And I've never seen a perfect finish on a branch before. And then again, see, you can just do this with the kids. It's so fast and so simple and such an effective finish. Dot, 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 dot. I like threes. Let's go with some twos, a couple of threes and fives, and just all the way around. And then when we get to the finish, look at that. I've created that one in just a few minutes. And you guys can absolutely do this at home. I'd love it if you share with me on my Home Talk blog. If you go over to the blog, it's the pinned post with all of the instructions and everything you need. I'd love it if you shared with me on there pictures of your finished globes that you've made. Because, oh, globes, we don't call them globes. What do we call them? Baubles. Baubles, I can't think of the name anymore. Baubles, and look at that. Each one is completely different. So each one has its own unique look. I'm going to grab some more of these ones from over here. Let's just look at this. Let's just pop them down. In fact, let's pop them all down over here, and you can see them all close together. I actually think I probably like the plain ones the most. The ones that just have a plain outside on them, like this one here. And those are how you create beautiful Christmas decorations, Christmas baubles, tree decorations, whatever you want to call them. And you simply hang them on the tree, and you can use them year after year. You could fill them up with different colours, just like we did here. See, I've got one that I just filled with gold here, just for just a different look. And then this is the one that we did earlier with the gold on the inside. So you can put the paint on the inside, you can put the paint on the outside, you can leave them completely clear. And I think if you were to go to a local Christmas market and buy something like this, I think it's going to cost you a pretty penny. And sitting at home, it's a very therapeutic way to actually spend a few hours. Just literally all you need, clear glass baubles or plastic baubles, a little bit of paint and a little bit of know-how. And that's it. That's exactly what we've just done. So I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope you've learned something from me. I hope you will go over to my blog and just check it out, FionaDeBell.com. or my blog here on Home Talk, where we've got the list of everything that you need to buy. Join me next week. I'll be here again, 11 a.m. next Monday. Anything that you want to know, if you've got any ideas for things that you'd like me to show you, please feel free to message me. Home Talk will be having another amazing live demonstration today, 3 p.m. Eastern, so be sure to join us for that. It's going to be amazing. Every single one of the Home Talk lives are amazing. So please, if you've got any questions, message me on the blog. I've been Fiona DeBell. Love joining you today. Thank you so much for having me. Take care. Have a great week.